All too often, dog groomers are faced with the unnecessary challenge of their clients being unprepared for their dog's next grooming appointment. Let's talk about 5 things and one bonus tip that you should be doing up to and the day of your dog's next grooming appointment. All that coming up in this episode of the Grooming by Rudy podcast.
You're listening to the Grooming by Rudy podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. For those of you who may not know us, we are father and son dog grooming duo. I'm Rudy V, along with my son Anthony Ray, and welcome to the Grooming by Rudy podcast, where we love to educate and teach you guys about dog grooming. That's what the show's about, and welcome to the show. So before we get into it, though, I got to touch base with my son Anthony. And
I'm okay. I would be probably a little bit better outside of what you put me through over the weekend.
What did I put you through?
Dollar General? Not ringing a bell?
Oh, really, Ant? You want to talk about that?
Well, you asked.
Okay, I didn't know that was on your mind.
Wouldn't it be on yours?
Really?
I mean, listen, if you don't want to discuss it.
No, we could discuss it. We could discuss it. They're our friends. You guys are our friends. All right, whatever. It's not like, okay, guys, listen. This is embarrassing.
Well,
I didn't think you were going to talk about that. But okay, let's go with it. All right. So I wear tidy whities. I mean, that's it. But not white. I buy multiple color underwear. But I'm old school. I wear tidy whities. And I get them from the Dollar General. That's right here in our store. I mean, in our mall. So now you know why I'm embarrassed. But the thing is that I make Anthony buy them for me because I'm too embarrassed to buy them. So I ask him to please, can you please buy them for me? I give you the money. We go in together and he.
As if it's not embarrassing for me to buy them. But yeah, my dad's my best friend, so of course I'm going to say yes reluctantly. But that's not even really the crux of what happened. So we get there because I say, I'll do it, but you're at least coming with me, which was actually a mistake on my part. I should have just did it by myself. Anyway, we go to the store. I pick out his multicolored sideless tidy underwears, which is just the strangest underwear I've ever even seen. Tidy whities is actually an improvement.
They're Hanes.
Yeah, they're Hanes, but they have no sides, so he shows a lot of leg, I guess. And I see that the Dollar General has a self-checkout section. So I'm like, oh, awesome. Scot-free. We got away with this. I'm going to just use the self-checkout. Nobody's going to know what the hell I'm buying. I'm out the door. We get up there, I scan my father's underwear, and all of a sudden, alarms happening. Yep, toot, 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 everywhere. And of course, the cashier is a girl. Why wouldn't it be? Not that it really matters that much, but it's just like somehow it just would be a little bit easier if it were a dude, but of course not. She comes over, she tells me, oh, the self-checkout works fine, but you're not allowed to check out any food or clothing at the self-checkout, I guess because they don't trust people to weigh their own bananas. So not only did I not get the self-checkout where nobody knows what I'm doing, the girl cashier knows what I'm getting and everybody else in the store because it was a big hoopla because all of the alarms going off. So it was all eyes on me buying my father's underwear. And, yeah, that was just, and you didn't really help.
Then we go over to the other register, and now, he's face to face with her because we can't do the self-checkout. And I'm standing behind him looking at the girl going,
the nerve that you have. Funny, I'll give you that. And I'm going to get you back for this. I promise you.
But here's, Dude, as a father, though, you know, listen, I do a lot of things for you. As a father, you should, you know, be able to ask your kids for these, you know, minor things.
Minor. If it was so minor, he would buy his underwear himself. But, you know, here we are. Other than that, my weekend was great.
Well, I appreciate it. What do you want me to say?
You're welcome.
I guess, you know, every 6 months, you got to just prepare yourself for that.
Yeah. Every 6 months. I'll put it in my calendar. I can't wait till our next underwear session.
With Tidy Whitey.
Yeah, Tidy Whitey. Dad.
In September 5th, you know.
September 5th. Unreal.
Anyway, well, seriously, though, thank you, Anthony. I love you for that.
You're welcome. I love you too.
But anyway, let's get into the show. Did not think we were going to talk about my underwear.
One of them were red.
That's the thing. I don't buy white. I buy the colorful pack.
Yeah.
I got a red one. I got a red one, a blue one.
I think
and green.
As adults, we could all agree white underwear, not a good idea.
No, not good.
We're not going to get into the details why.
It's like a white car. You
just don't want that.
You don't want that.
You don't want that. Go red. He got a nice like gray, red, black, dark blue.
They're
pack.
nice. They're nice.
It was a 4-pack.
Very comfortable, by the way.
Yeah, he's wearing one of them now, I'm sure.
Certainly am. Anyway, let's try to get into this show now.
All right, grooming.
Dog grooming, right? So let's talk about things that you can do. Number one thing, guys, that you can do leading up to your dog's next appointment or the day of is, number one, just be available. Guys, if you're going to drop your dog off at the groomer, okay, it's not a good time to drop your dog off at the groomer and then go on a cruise, okay? You should really kind of be available. I'm not saying that you have to be waiting at the front door or anything, but let's say you have a job. Maybe you have, you know, your husband, your wife, or your kid or somebody that you know that could just be available just in case of an emergency. God forbid the dog hurt. Maybe a dog gets nicked or something like that. These things happen at the grooming shop. They don't happen often, but they do happen. In case of an emergency, make yourself available. Don't be too far away on that particular day. Another thing is, let's say you have an anxious dog or you have a dog with separation anxiety. You might want to get that dog out a little sooner than normal. So you don't want to drop off at 8:30 in the morning and pick your dog up at 6 if they have anxiety or something like that. So again, just be available. Maybe the groomer decides to get your dog out a little sooner than later. And, you know, you can get to the grooming shop maybe at lunch hour or something, pick up your dog. It'd just be less stressful in that case. Also, make sure your phone is on, guys. All too often, we silence our phones and things like that. Again, in case something happens, you want, your groomer to be able to reach out to you and being in. So make sure your phone is on. Make sure you're available. Your dog just, that particular day may not feel up to the grooming. This happens. Dogs are moody. They have situations just like us. They could be suffering from allergies. They can have a particular issue on that day. And if they do, just make sure that, you're available.
This is kind of a big one. This is a very common mistake a lot of pet owners make. And it's don't overfeed or give your pet too much water the day of the grooming, because what happens is this is a stress environment sort of naturally. Not that it's a dangerous environment so much as it's just a very busy environment. There's dryers going, your dog's out of its element. It does spend some time in a cage one way or the other. It's getting a bath, it's getting groomed. So there's a lot going on. So like the last thing you really want is like a really, really full stomach. There's too much stress involved in a grooming day. Even if your dog is totally relaxed at a groomer, it still can be a stressful area, it's a happening area. So treat it more like you were going to the doctor or something like that. You wouldn't really want to go to a doctor's appointment on like this over bloated stomach after a 3-course meal. That you're just not going to feel very good. So it's not the best time to have somebody pushing on your stomach and checking you out So yeah, that's something to avoid. Not to mention too, your dogs, like when they're here, when they're at a grooming shop, they're getting picked up, they're getting handled. So it doesn't even have to be stress related. It could just be like, a little too much pressure on the stomach, and it could give them an upset stomach. It's just not needed. I usually recommend like a little bit of a fasting for that morning that you're going to the groomer. The dog has a lot to accept that morning. Again, even if they love the groomer, most of the dogs that we do kind of love coming here, but it's just an added element. And too much water isn't great either. First of all, we can give them water ourselves, but the stress of your dog having to pee, and we walk 90% of the dogs that come in. Some of them, the owner will let us know right away. Don't walk them. They just went before we got here, and it's also a little bit dangerous if you don't have an enclosed area to be walking other people's dogs outside. So only really do that if you do have a safe spot to bring them. It's just not always a risk worth taking. But 9 times out of 10, we just walk the dogs and it's fine. But you give your dog too much water in the morning, and let's say the groomers are still in the middle of their prep session and it's going to be about another hour until the first round of walks happens. Well, now your dog has to pee and it's just sort of stressing out in the cage, and that's just added pressure. And and that's just going to just kind of compound everything. They can get stressed, they can get upset, and you never know. If a dog gets that upset or stressed, they might end up having diarrhea in the cage and just going in the cage, which happens a lot. So that's something to sort of avoid. That one thing kind of washes the hand of the other with that, where it's like if you overfeed your dog and you give them too much water right before chucking them into a grooming scenario for the day, it probably is working more against them than for them.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah, definitely. So we have, be available. Number 1, don't overfeed or overwater. Number 2, number 3, guys, would be keep your dog calm that day. It's not a good idea to go for a really, really long walk or play fetch that particular day right before a grooming. Don't take a 2-mile hike with your dog. And don't overstimulate your dog. Don't rile them up. Don't a lot of people like to rile them up with a rope toy or something like that and make them growl and stuff. Not a good time to do it that particular day, because, you don't want the dog entering that state of mind where it's revved up and now it's at the groomer and now you have this revved up dog that the groomer has to try to calm down for the grooming. So that particular day, just keep your dog as calm as possible. Don't tire them out too much, because again, dogs, there's a degree of energy that they're going to require to get groomed. They're expected to stand for a long period of time. Anthony said, we're handling them, we're picking them up, to bring them for a walk ourselves. They got to go into the bathtub, get a bath, get blow dried. There's a lot involved where it's actually going to consume a lot of your dog's energy. So don't waste it all by, going out to the park and playing fetch and riling them up. And, again, they're just going to need that extra energy for that day. And another thing is tell them that they're going to the groomer. Let them know. Dogs, believe me, they understand when we speak to them. So tell them. We get people saying it all the time. They say, we're going to see Rudy tomorrow. We're going to go see Rudy and Anthony because you're going to get groomed tomorrow. And the dogs will perk their ears up. They know what you're talking about. Give them a heads up. I mean, that's just a common thing that you should do, because your dog understands that, and let them, process that by telling them that they're going to go to the groomer.
The heads up is super important. Even for me, I need a heads. I'm like that. I need to know what's going on.
You need a heads up to put your socks on.
Yeah, I need it. And you know what? Here's the thing, too. You know how much I hate plans? I hate plans for anything, even if it's great, even if it's fun. You could ask my friends this. We make all these fun plans throughout the year. Oh, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. And I'm so hard to get to agree with plans. And that's with a 3-month heads up of like, hey, dude, we're going to go to Mets game 3. And I'll be like, oh, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know. And that's what more of a heads up can you ask for? That's how stupid I am, really.
You have no structure.
I have no, well, it's a little bit of both. I sometimes have too much structure, and then I don't have not enough structure at all. Like how I don't know, how like easy is it to be like to to be like, oh, hey, dude, do you wanna go? We'll go watch the games at a bar or something like that. It's like that's no heads up, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't work for me. I wasn't planning on doing that at all.
Wait, whoa.
So then you
process that.
So I drive my friends nuts because then so they'll think, oh, okay, we just he's not a spur of the moment kind of guy. Let's let him know, hey, a month from now it's so and so's birthday. Nothing crazy. We're gonna go hit up this bar and we're gonna watch the games there. And I'm, oh man, dude, I don't know, dude. I'm not really planning. I can't. There's no pleasing me. There's no, Anthony, I'm just a homebody, man.
Yeah. Anthony needs heads. He's got to know. He's got to know. Like especially if you want him to buy your underwear, you have to that heads up. You have to tell him in advance.
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody out there that needs, an underwear purchase, ask Anthony. He does
your
it for
guy.
me.
Like, what's funny too? You asked me that in the morning on Saturday, and it was in my head the entire day. And here's the thing. That whole story we laid out for you, that was about 3 minutes long of my life. And it consumed my entire Saturday in my brain that I got to do this later. And then it couldn't have gone worse.
It affected him.
It did. That's why I'm still talking about it.
It was really good for me, though.
Yeah, you got yourself some underwear. Did you even give me the $6?
I don't know. I have to pay you this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm just going to include it. I think it was 12.
Here's the thing, dude. It's like, look, I get it. He's my dad. Our parents, they take care of us. They change our diapers and all of that. So some receipts come due no matter what. I'm just saying that was a hefty receipt. That was a very targeted, you changed my diapers, and now I'm changing yours.
I love you, man.
I love you too, man. Brush your dogs. That's right. The next thing.
Okay, number 4 is...
brush your dogs. I want to talk to you guys about this. Do not make the same mistake that I did with the dentist, where I don't take care of my teeth for 17 years, and then I floss and brush my teeth really, really good the day before my first dentist appointment in 17 years and think I'm going to get away with it. You don't even want it like that anyway. Use that as the example. If you never take care of your dog at home and you never brush your dog at home, what good is it really when your dog does get groomed for your dog's coat and for everything that the dog has to go through? So don't do that. You should be brushing your dog once a week for the weeks leading up to your dog's grooming appointment. That's very, very important. Matting is very, very bad and very, very avoidable. And simply just taking one day out of the week, at least give your dog a nice once-over, 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes of your day for the weeks leading up to your grooming appointment. Once a week, 10 minutes. It's all it takes. It doesn't even have to be perfect. And it will save a lot of time and a lot of effort for the groomer, a lot of effort for your dog. We've said this 1,000 times. We're blue in the face from it already. The less you take care of your dog at home, the more your dog has to go through on a grooming table. So the more upkeep you do at home, the easier in and out grooming your dog can become at the grooming shop. So brushing, very, very important. And there's a distinction. Don't brush your dog the day of the grooming, because now that's just too much brushing. Your dog already has to go through it at the grooming shop. There's no sense in making your dog go through it twice. It's nonsense. So the goal for the weeks leading up to your dog's grooming appointment is you want your dog to be knot free. There are exceptions. There's some hard areas on your dog that your dog's just not going to let you get to. The armpits come to mind. Stuff under the sanitary area, it could be difficult. And if you don't know what you're doing, these slicker brushes that we use, they're forgiving, but you can hurt your dog with them. So there are certain areas that are just commonly knotted up that we expect, and that's what we're there for. We're going to fix that for you. But it's really not worth giving your dog some sort of half-assed brush out the night before and thinking that the groomer's not going to notice it and notice that you never touch your dog when you're at home with a brush. So, yeah, that's a big one. Brush your dogs once a week for all the weeks leading up to your next grooming. 10 minutes, it's all it takes.
Great advice. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good at grooming advice and buying my father underwear.
He's excellent. Really
excellent.
Good.
I really excel in those areas.
Proud of you, son. Proud of you. But okay, so what was that? That was number 4. Okay, so number 5 is, guys, this one's really, really important. cancel if you need to, okay? If your dog is not feeling good that day, or maybe your dog had diarrhea, was throwing up for the past days prior to your grooming appointment, listen, it's okay to cancel. You're probably better off canceling, both for your dog's sake and the groomer's sake, right? Because let's say your dog is feeling under the weather and might be battling, a stomach virus or a really bad ear infection. Dogs get these things, urinary tract infections. A number of things can happen leading up to that particular day of your dog's grooming. But if you see that your dog's not right, if you see that your dog is just definitely under the weather, just call the groomer, cancel, explain. Most groomers are not going to be mad at you for canceling that day, especially with a situation like that, because they don't want to have to groom your dog and then clean up a cage full of poop and diarrhea or vomit, or even worse than that, they do this amazing grooming and it takes them hours on a standard poodle or something, or you just raked out a Bernese Mountain Dog and it took you hours, and now the dog just pooped and vomited all over the place, and the groomer has to take the dog and redo the whole thing just to give you back, a clean groomed dog. And plus, it's just not good for your dog. If your dog's not feeling good, a grooming shop is not the best environment for your dog. Your dog should really just be home and work it out and work on getting your dog to feel better. And this way, you could always reschedule the groom and, a better time. But definitely, if your dog's under the weather, cancel that day. Don't be afraid of that.
Plus, if your dog is that sick, the groomer's going to call you anyway and tell you to come pick up your dog. So you may as well cut out the middleman and just,
For sure.
That's really good advice. So here's our bonus one, and this is more of a same day one. Give them a treat after. Show them dogs. The dogs are goofy, but they're not stupid.
Yeah.
So they know all that extra attention that they get right after they get groomed. You take them home. Your kids are all over them, and they get all this sort of extra love and attention. It's weird when they're not in the house all day and then they're back in the house all day. So they get all this love and attention. So make sure you tell them how good they are and give them a treat. Give them. It's something they can look forward to. Even if you bring the treat with you to the shop, some of our customers do this where when they pick up their dog, they already have the treat with them. And they give it to us to give to them, which the dogs love. So that's a really smart thing to do too. It kind of helps build rapport, I guess, between your dog and your groomer. It's a little bonding thing where you're coming to pick your dog up. The dog's already elated and happy, and then you give the treat that the dog loves to the groomer to give to the dog. So it's kind of like a little bonding thing. But do stuff like that. It'll really, it makes the dog like the whole situation.
Yeah, it's positive reinforcement, like Anthony said. Give them lots of attention. We actually had one client that used to do this. Every time she picked up the dog after the grooming, she would bring the dog to the drive-through in McDonald's and get them chicken nuggets. And we're not promoting feeding your dog chicken nuggets from McDonald's, but once every 2 months she did this because the dog just really, really looked forward to it, and that dog would just go ballistic knowing that it was done and it was getting picked up by its owner and it was going to go through the McDonald's drive-through to get some chicken nuggets. So definitely give your dog a lot of attention and maybe a treat after the grooming.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this show. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. You could also check out our other YouTube channel. It's called Grooming by Rudy. We have lots of helpful dog grooming tips and tutorials for you over there. Also, don't forget to check out petedge.com. Use promo code Rudy5 and save $5 off of all orders of $100 or more. Until next time, take care of yourself.